historical fashion friends, and today I am going to be doing a video on my dye journal because I have quite a few new pieces to add in, and some people said that they were really interested in seeing how I make my dye journal and keep track of all my experiments. So I will give you a little tour and we will add in a couple of the new pieces that I have. So I like to keep track of the different ingredients that I use for my dye experiments and also try to record an example of the before and after results for comparison. So my first one was madder root on linen. The original linen was not pure white, it was a natural linen. And then the second one here is an onion skin on natural linen. And I only used 6 onions, so I would love to do another experiment using a lot of onion skins and see how that goes. The second one was juniper berries and yarrow flower, which I thought had not really taken any effect, but it actually did quite a good job on my muslin fabric. And the wool I was dyeing at the same time, I then over dyed with some madder powder mixed with vinegar, and that made a really beautiful burgundy color. So today I'm going to be adding a couple of different samples of this natural colored wool. It is kind of a beigey, bland color, and I tried a couple of experiments which only had moderate results, and I am currently in the process of finishing up another experiment with this same fabric. I had originally bought 15 yards. Miraculously, it was all thrifted because there's kind of a number of holes in the fabric, but I didn't mind that. And I tried an experiment on it with woad and weld, and then I'm going to be trying another one finishing tomorrow with madder dye, but I don't want to get a bright red. I'm trying to get sort of a rose color. So I'm going to use my pinking shears to just cut a couple of different samples of this one. I use my pinking shears to make sure that it doesn't fray, although afterwards a lot of my wool dye experiments are so kind of felted together that I don't really have much concern over that. And to secure them into my book, I actually sew them in. I just kind of like the way that looks, and I didn't want to use, I don't know, staples or anything like that. So the first one here that we're going to put in, number 5, is our woad. And I'm hoping to get some more different fabrics to dye with pretty soon in the future. I might get some linen, or if I'm able to find any natural colored wool. I had bought a light gray, but it actually turned out to be darker gray, and it matches my cat, so I cannot bring myself to dye it. So this is our woad dye, and I believe I use 1 ounce of woad powder. And it was an alum mordant. This one, it soaked for a while. Soak overnight. So I actually don't have the original of this fabric, but I'm still going to put this example in just to compare in the future if I do have any sort of woad dye. Again, I want to see how bright of a blue I can get. I was really disappointed with this one actually, and I know that Aylin Abrahamson, she had a similar sort of problem with her woad dye experiments as well. Part of my problem was that the woad powder is so expensive, I just couldn't really afford to buy enough of it to dye the amount of fabric that I had. So maybe in the future I'll save up to buy a larger amount. And I just use a back stitch a few times to secure it in place. And as you can kind of see on my other pages, I've added some little stamps as well, just for decoration purposes. And I will probably go back in and add some more notes to this one later, when I go back and watch my video I did on the woad dye. Next, I am going to add my sample of weld. And I'm going to layer them in here so we can see the before and after. As you can see, this also had a very loose weave to start with, but after the dyeing process, it has quite a close weave. So the weld dye definitely took a lot better to the muslin bag that I used to hold the plant matter. And that's really the color I had desired for the entire segment of fabric, but of course that result did not happen. So I'm just going to take this little batch of threads and I am going to make a little loop to secure it. And I will join that to this existing one. It's really interesting to me to take a look at how different dyes affect different plant fibers and the brightness you can get on each of the different ones. And I also like to make a note of which fibers I tested this out on. Now this piece I am going to save for tomorrow when I have my sample of the rose-colored fabric, hopefully rose-colored. I will see how much it shrinks. I may actually decide that after the soaking, I will save maybe a yard to make some sleeves, detachable sleeves, for my garment, and maybe try an indigo dye, but we'll see. And now I'm going to show you a flip through of my book, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Hit the subscribe button if you want to see more videos like this, and give it a like. Let me know if you have tried dyeing with weld in the comments below, and I will see you next time.